Meet Luz, a self-assured teenage girl who accidentally stumbles upon a portal to a magical world where she befriends a rebellious witch, Ida, and an adorably tiny warrior, King. Despite not having magical abilities, Luz pursues her dream of becoming a witch by serving as Ida's apprentice at the Owl House and ultimately finds a new family in an unlikely setting. What I've just read is the official plot of the Owl House. If that sounded boring and uninteresting and unoriginal for a fantasy show, then you're not alone. This is a kids show on the Disney Channel that recently came to Disney Plus. However, stick with me here, because there's something about this show, and it's certainly not unoriginal. It's kind of hard to explain, which is why I wrote this script. So, stick with me for a moment. Let me explain that plot again, in my own words, because that was the official description. I'll try to not be too sassy about it, but I'll do my best. So Luz is a weird girl that tends to get into trouble at school, because she apparently has a knack for getting into trouble and doing things like using real spiders in a science fair production, or using real poison in a Romeo and Juliet production. For obvious reasons, her mom enrolls her at a place called Reality Camp, where you learn to think inside the box. While she waits for the bus to camp, she goes on a wild owl chase. After going through a magical portal, she meets Ida, a witch shopkeeper that just happens to be a wanted criminal. So Ida takes Luz home and introduces her to her pet demon named King. Luz thinks this new world is awesome. Apparently awesome enough to just leave the human world behind. I'm a little hurt, not gonna lie. So she asks Ida to basically be her Mr. Miyagi. And she accepts. Shenanigans commence, Luz meets some friends, learns some magic, and helps Ida out all along the way. At least, that's how the first 4 episodes go. They're very life lesson heavy, and it's just an overall typical kids fantasy show with plots that can be solved within 20 minutes of each other. But then, when we get to episode 5, we finally start seeing an overarching plot, which is actually not a bad one. There are some episodes in the middle of the season that are kind of filler, but overall it starts genuinely getting good. Basically, the further the series goes, the more interesting it gets for everyone watching. Also, the show has some genuinely funny humor. Like, listen to this clip taking a not-so-subtle jab at Harry Potter.
You can only pick one of the 9 tracks.
But all the tracks are so cool.
Is there some sort of enchanted article of clothing that could sort this out for me?
Well, there used to be, but...
Oh, I'm so excited!
And now, I feed!
The character development really is something special as well. Even though Luz is the main character, I'd argue Amity is the one that's grown the most. And the relationships really start building later on into connections that feel realistic. Ida becomes a kind of parental figure for Luz. Ida and Lilith form a complex bond. And Luz and Amity, well, I'll let you watch the show for yourself. But at the end of the day, this is still a kids show. It still can't quite escape that frame or that identity. And Dana Terrace, I can tell, really tried to stretch out the limits that Disney gave her, and I'm really interested to see what she has in store for season 2. She still can't quite escape that bond. However, that doesn't mean you should count the show out. If you've heard anything so far that even sounds remotely interesting, then I'd give the show a try. It has enough substance, even at the start, to keep your interest. It's a slow burner, but oh boy, when it gets cooking, it is good. So, all in all, I'd give the show a 7 out of 10. It has its moments, but it also has its glaring flaws. But the thing is, I would rather watch this show than some other shows that I would objectively rate as like an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. Because there's something special about this show. So if you're looking for a nice, short series to watch, this is it. Dana Terrace is clearly an amazing storyteller, and I can't wait to see what she has planned for Season 2, and what she has planned outside of the Owl House. And that's it. Thank you for watching this little review. It's definitely not something I would normally post on this channel. I normally post gaming content. So if you're interested in that, like if you're new here and you're interested in gaming, then check me out. I actually just recently finished Celeste, and I'm probably going to be uploading that montage soon, but I'll link the playlist in the end card. This way, yes, this way. This is where the playlist will be. And just check me out in general. I usually do gaming content, but sometimes I just stray away and do stuff like this, or do a musical review, or something like that. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!